Okay, ladies and gents, welcome. We have another Play All 3. This is probably the most interesting group right now in the whole thing, though there's so many out there. I would say Group A and Group D, at this point in time, they look like the groups that are really going to have the last-minute drama. We have DauT, who came in after not playing for 2 weeks. He was away, came back, played his first round yesterday. He won 2-1 versus Say My Name, and now he's up against Miguel. And then we have Miguel. And Miguel went 2-1 in his first round versus Classic Pro. Now, where it gets weird is Classic Pro won 2-1 against Jordan, right? And then Jordan won 2-1 against... Who did Jordan win 2-1 against? Did he win 2-1? I know he lost to Viper badly, 3-0. I forget exactly. Someone's going to remind me. My apologies. Anyways, the point is the group is pretty close. And then you've got the Viper on top. Viper has won his early sets 3-0. But yeah, over the next week, we're going to have a lot of different things going on. We've got Miguel here, though, in the red playing as the Mayans. We have Gujaras for DauT. A Civ that has a counter to everything. Jordan hasn't won yet. He lost 2-1 to Classic Pro. Oh, I said that. Okay, yeah, so Jordan won one game, excuse me. And yeah, it hasn't looked good for Jordan so far. I think when DauT plays Jordan and when Miguel plays Jordan, those are going to be the most important matches in the group. Obviously, Classic Pro has to play some matches as well. And then Viper's going to be out there. But a lot can change. And again, just to reiterate how this all works, this is a league that will reoccur every 6 or so months. You have different leagues, right? So this is Platinum. This is the big boy league, the main league. The top 2 in each group get relegated down to gold for the next season. And then the players who are in the top 3 in each group move on to round of 12, round of 8, normal knockouts for more prize pool. And then whoever is 4th actually just stays alive for the next season. So I've had my fair share of games against the Gujaras already. And I feel like every week we're just talking about how strong the Civ is and how it needs nerfed. I played a game knowing that the opponent would spam Shravamshas. Because there was a player who went from 1900 elo to like 2200 elo. DauT, oh my god, what's happening? Okay, anyways, he went up in elo pretty quickly just by spamming the Gujaras. And I went double range crossbow, triple barracks eagles, and I died to siege Shravamsha. Very, very strong. And I was Mayans, and you normally feel pretty good about the Mayans, but didn't feel too good about it there. Miguel, though, not looking to go fast feudal. Miguel has come home after he did make a trip to DauT's base to try and lame. Wasn't able to steal anything as far as I could see, but he could see exactly what DauT's base looked like. Is DauT finding... Oh, DauT found 2 sheep at Miguel's base. It must have been here. So DauT now has even more food running out of that mill. Man, that sucks. To try and steal sheep from your opponent... Put in all the work to do that, and then be down sheep on your own. And he might not even know that DauT has it at this point, right? But he's going to go for a Drush, something DauT doesn't see yet. DauT will likely rush fast feudal here. Miguel will have to take his berries. Pretty safe gold if the walls come up for Miguel. Overall, wallable base for both. But this is that fast uptime that people have been using with the Gujaras. It's going to be pretty awkward, I think, for Miguel to be able to get damage in with a Drush here. Villagers are already going to be loomed. Miguel's already going to realize that DauT should be in feudal soon. DauT luring boars makes me nervous. I know, he's so good at everything. But it's the luring boars thing, man. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't lose villagers that frequently. But look how weak his vills are. DauT should pick Poles exclusively. Poles or Goths. Polish villagers heal up. And then Goths do more damage. But, like, come on. This is so bad. Like, that does not happen to anyone else. Like, how... I guess you can't teach an old DauT new tricks. But how has he not even tried to practice the whole TC thing that everyone's doing these days? I guess at the end of the day, if you're not losing villagers, you'll be happy with things. And DauT... able to get the walls down on his berries because he did know this was coming. And DauT getting the walls up towards the wood line. Maybe a situation where he's in feudal age a little bit too fast, but In the end, he's not taking damage. He still will be in feudal age way faster than Miguel. Miguel is going to take the deer. He could really use those 2 sheep right now. He might actually have to farm. Normally, you wouldn't want to farm in Dark Age here. I wouldn't mind a farm or 2 from him, but he definitely needs to get to gold now, and there he goes. Actually, that could be for wood. I actually think what Miguel's going to do here... Okay, now he's going to gold. Well, now he's going to try and get that food in and then wall up on this side. All right. So, obviously, if this mill gets taken down to a certain percentage, all the sheep will eject. And I don't know what that is. It's probably around 1/4, right? So, maybe 250 HP. But honestly, this is stressing me out because I don't know what that number is. Does anyone know what that would be? If the sheep were to eject, it would be so painful. DauT, please repair this. He is repairing it now. Okay, I think he knows. Again, I think it'd be around 250 HP. Something like that. And he is able to repair faster than his villagers can destroy, so he's fine. Jordan says, any suggestions on must-watch matches in this tourney? Have to be a bit selective. No, I get it. I get it. You know, life's busy. Previous set was really good between Nikov Tato. Highly suggest that one. Really felt like the set between... hold on. Miguel, trying to save a villager, has kept this scout out. Spearman on the way. Spearman moving over. Good micro from Miguel here. He will not lose that villager. And he will keep the scouts out as well as he plays into Spearman and walls. He's not fully walled yet. The scouts could loop around. He needs to be careful. Also, a minute of TC idle time. What happened? Where's his food? Yeah, that's definitely painful. Maybe people in my chat can suggest sets. But in terms of the most entertaining overall, play all threes, I think Miguel Nikov was up there. Nikov Tato was up there so far. I will be happy that Miguel has had to wall this much. I know it's cheaper with the Mayans, but still, he's been able to harass a lot. Should be in a pretty good spot to clear this up as he just comes home now. I'm going to brainstorm a little bit as well on excellent matches. I felt like the game between Bruh and Yo on Fortified clearing was really good. I think that was game 2. That whole series was solid. That was last week. Yeah, Yo Bruh was crazy in terms of the results, but also the games. Fat Dragon and Margu was pretty good. Overtaken. Yeah, Overtaken. This was Gold League. But his games against Kingston were also awesome. And game 2 is going to hit the main YouTube channel as well soon. But yeah, hopefully those suggestions will help. Miguel has to realize that his eco flow is just not there this game. But a minute of TC idle time is really bad. Love the scouting from DauT. He knows he's likely not going to break in, but he just wants to know what's back here. What's the plan here for DauT? He doesn't see an archer range from Miguel. But most likely it's going to be Eagle Spearman, and I think that's what I would do as well. I think Miguel's going to try and go all in here, by the way. I think he's going to sell his stone. Because when the food eco is this bad, and your opponent is Gujaras, oh my god, you just know, guys. You just know that you have to go all in. And DauT actually beat him to the prices. He beat him to the prices. Look at this. So it was cheaper for him to buy the food, and he received more gold in return from selling. I know it's a ridiculous thing to talk about, but this uptime from DauT is insane. 1730. It's like he knew how Miguel would play this. He saw the market, right? He saw the market. Even keeping his eagle alive. What a big deal that is. Miguel wants to snipe it. Drops a little gate there, and the gate doesn't even block it. All right. So, again, in my experience, the Revamshes are pretty good against the eagles. I think DauT will happily just make those. You cannot make knights with this civilization, which can be pretty frustrating. DauT's still microing this camel. He is paying attention to everything right now. But yeah, DauT's economy flow is so much better. The uptime for Miguel is not necessarily slow. It's just slow compared to DauT. He has to add the blacksmith that I assume he forgot. Miguel, rough start to the series here. I don't know. Like, is anyone else surprised that we're not seeing people just ban the Gujaras? He banned the Chinese, and then DauT got first pick, and DauT went Gujaras. But if you reverse it, I know DauT that we haven't really necessarily seen it be like OP Gujaras yet. Their eco flow is insane, but just wait till the units come out. I honestly feel like I would like Mayans against Chinese more than I would like Mayans Gujaras, but maybe I'm wrong on that. You only get one ban, so it's a tough decision to make. We could see DauT, as it says he has... Okay, it said he had 3 on wood for a second. He could actually just buy the stone and then drop a town center. It doesn't look to me like he wants to come forward with siege or anything. He's going to open with the Shrivamshas. The Shrivamshas cost a lot of food and very little gold, so it feels like he wants to use the market again. Someone had asked me before this series who I prefer, and I said DauT 2-1, and the thing about DauT, I said, is he's able to be a little bit more creative, and usually it's using the market. It's his favorite building. He uses it all the time, and it made a lot of sense for me here. Still massing the Shrivamshas. This Camel still running away from Eagles. Just buying himself a lot of time. And, oh, Miguel getting a hit to kill a scout there. Not bad. DauT obviously has not done any damage yet, but he just buys the stone back. He'll drop the TC. Lots of map control for DauT, but he can't break through yet. Now, oh geez, don't tell me. Oh my god, they're in! They destroyed that so fast. Oh man, Miguel, he has to, he does take a fight with 7 base attack at least. But the Shrivamshas still have more HP. This is not a unit that's supposed to be good against in melee situations, but it just happens to be. It's a unit that's supposed to be good against arrows, but it's also the fastest unit in the game, by the way, so you just can't really avoid it. It's also dirt cheap. DauT has killed 2 villagers here, and if you saw how he ran around, look how much damage they do. What in the world? This is insane. Feels like he's got knights right now. But if you remember how he ran around with those camels, I'm sure he's going to do the same with Shrivamshas here. This is a disaster start for Miguel. This might be over already. Not the start he would want at all. I don't think he should call it. Obviously, he should continue to try. Do his absolute best here to come back and see what happens. If you lose, whatever. But I really should say sloppy for Miguel to let the units in here. And again, these things destroy so quickly. And they're in again. You're getting to worry for Miguel's mindset here going into the next game, right? Like, you could easily be pretty tilted. But yeah, it's like you're not even playing the same game when you've got the Gujaras, man. And DauT took advantage of the small mistakes. So easy to mask this unit because it's 70 food and only 20 gold. Obviously had the amazing Dark Age eco. That flow helps in here as well. And well, we didn't really get to see a position on how the Eagle Pikeman play would perform because DauT just got such a big lead before then. It's 8 villagers killed by DauT. And I'm sure he's feeling good right now. Miguel, though, just from Dark Age onwards, it didn't really look good, right? And obviously tried to steal some resources. Wasn't able to achieve anything there. Lost his own sheep to the Gujaras, which hurts. And had to scramble down a bunch of walls. Eco didn't look good in Feudal Age. Miguel looked so good against Classic Pro. This game, again, you worry that there might be some frustration setting in that could affect the future games. Let's see, he's got 9 military versus DauT's 4. Probably realizes now that he's super far behind, so he's going to try. As you should. DauT's on stone already. If DauT's worried, does anyone know, do Gujaras get champion? There's actually, I've never seen a moment where Gujaras should go for champion because they have the counters to everything. But I'm actually curious because you could, if you were concerned the Shrivamshas wouldn't be enough, you could just add a second barracks. Maybe think about champion. Monks, normally not the play against a unit this cheap either, but normally that's what you would do. Go Eagle Monk. 34 villagers versus 55 right now. The fact that they trade so well versus Eagles is a bit silly. I'm in agreement. But I don't think this game is necessarily just about that. I think the game is about the fact that DauT was able to snowball his early lead with economy. And then he was able to get damage in, right? Like, those Shrivamshas getting in really denied us that opportunity to get to see how well a straight-up fight with even upgrades would do. They get two-handed swordsmen, no champ. Okay. So, I mean, you could. I think when you have this big of an economy lead, you don't have to. You could just drop a defensive castle and go for chakrams. Miguel finally getting castle age armor, as he knows he needs to do damage. And first game of the day probably feels like a loss for him, but he's just going to continue to go for it. Because maybe there's a chance, right? Is it unlikely? Yes. Is there less than a 1% chance against a player like DauT? Yes. But should you continue to try? Most certainly. Every time he tries to get a new villager out here to build siege or something, it just keeps getting picked off by DauT. Every time an eagle pops out, it keeps getting picked off by DauT. And DauT's just being as patient as possible. In case he needs a castle, he'll drop the castle now. I think a castle here would be more than fine. You have the TC fire, you have Shrivamshas. Just drop the castle here. Let's give you yourself that extra layer of protection. I think they might have some hidden armor piercing on them for both units and buildings. I don't know, man. But the way the Civ's economy works, with having this Shrivamsha, which is way too fast in my opinion, and too cheap for what it does, combined with their Camels doing 50% more bonus damage, and all their unique techs, it's like... I made a joke yesterday about how some dude named Mark probably works in the dev team. And Mark came up with the ideas, and that's why we did it. But, like, the bonuses that the Hindustanis and the Gujaras have, while you look at Bengalis and you look at Dravidians, it's just silly. Also, it's not like the Civ just came out yesterday, by the way. I was begging for them to make some tweaks to those two civilizations before Titans League. But hey, Miguel, you got the sheep, bro. Let's go. That's actually useful. You don't have the best eco over here. This is funny. Run away! You're free now! You're free! Go home to greener pastures. You are no longer doing whatever you were being... I don't know what they're doing to you in those mills, sheep. Go home! But, you know, we do include a ban in the draft. We talked about that. DauT's at 35 on food at this point, so losing the sheep doesn't mean anything. It is funny, though, as Miguel continues to try and snowball. Took him a while to get a villager forward. DauT kept sniping him. He really wants to go for siege. And I think DauT is just going to wait for these chakram throwers here. You can't really make many mistakes when you've got this many town centers in the chakrams. And this unit does pass-through damage like a scorpion, so it can hit the whole group. Unit's not too bad either. Love this from DauT, just showing up to pick off more reinforcements. We have a ram now for Miguel. The overall KD is actually pretty even. Also, DauT has the unique tech, which would make all of the food cost on his units cheaper. And he's being extra safe now. So the way I see it presently, and Gujaras will eventually be addressed in some capacity, I'm sure. But the way I see it right now, and okay, apparently the GG's been called. There you go. I really wish we didn't see the speed up like that near the end. But I think if you're playing Gujaras, you want to force them into pikemen. Sorry. You want to play into pike and siege or something because you want to force them into chakrams. And it's not that chakram is a bad unit. It's actually a great unit. But I think it's like the lesser of the two evils because it's just harder to get to. And so I have found that the Gujaras are a fantastic counter to the Mayans and to the Aztecs and the Incas. Just because they don't have the... well, I guess like Mayans, I guess could play into Halb technically. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's really weird to me to play into Eagles here. I don't think it's exactly what you need. I think Shrivamshas would work. But the reality is, like, Miguel was behind, and then the second those units got in, he just fell way off. Very forgettable first game for Miguel. Almost a free victory there for DauT. All right, game 2. Miguel, a little rough start there. Again, like, maybe he realized pretty early on there that he was dead. I'm sure we all did. But I hope that it doesn't affect his total mindset here, right? Now, he has Malians. Malians are typically seen as a civilization that is strong when you can use your wood flexibility. So, cheaper houses, cheaper barracks, that's normal. But what really helps is if you have cheaper docks as well. And so we have Cross here. There's going to be a lot of wood spent on fishing ships and buildings. Miguel choosing to go for the Malians, and DauT choosing to go for the more classic choice in the Huns. He did have Japanese. And so Huns not having to build houses does pay off in the mid-game. To start, I definitely would give the edge to the Malians, though, because they don't start with minus 100 wood like the Huns do. The Hun wood bonus, it starts to feel strong at about 10 minutes, I'd say. That's the point where everyone's building houses and other buildings. Huns don't really have to. It's a pretty good choice. I'm going to answer a couple questions and just talk to some people in chat here. First is really like the idea of this league type tourney. How does it work with promotion into the bottom tier league for players not in the league for this season? So if you didn't sign up, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, but I think I know what you're saying. So are you saying if someone was potentially top 48, but they didn't sign up for this season, how it works? Robo is actually the one to answer this because I'm 95% certain. It's on our long list of things, and that hasn't actually happened yet. But I believe they have to qualify through a silver bracket. They will not be able to just take someone's spot who played in a previous round just because of their name or reputation or, just showing up after the fact. So let's say Jimmy Bob Jr. is ranked like 30th in the world based on tournament results. Actually, a good example would be the Max. Max didn't sign up. Max, if he would have signed up, would have been in Gold League. And so if Max were to sign up for the second season, he doesn't just get a free pass into Gold. He has to go through the silver qualifier to get into Gold. So that's how it works. Now, the good news is, in that regard, is it's the silver qualifier is essentially a bracket. It's like a knockout bracket style. We'll have more information coming on that when it happens. But it's not quite in the same way because it will happen prior to, and Miguel's having a rough time, it'll happen prior to Season 2. And that's to see which 8 players get promoted. As DauT stock almost gets denied there. So I don't know if that answered your question, but basically players are going to have to earn their spots. I think the results in the league so far have shown that this understanding that people seem to have on the strength of players based on rated games is not necessarily in line with tournament results, or at least the league results so far. There were a lot of people who looked at someone like Bro, for example, someone like Dragonstar maybe, said, hey, this player, maybe not in that top 24. We base it all off on tournament results. And wouldn't you know it, Bro won 2-1 against Yo. That was a massive name in our scene. He showed that he's worthy, and we'll see if he continues that. You had Dragonstar beating Barrels 2-1, for example. It's a lot of different results like that. I wouldn't say that Miguel is more susceptible to tilting than other players, but I would say that Miguel is just inconsistent, and it does affect him. It does affect him. And I think, I've seen a couple small things here in this game. And I think after losing the first game, I'm hoping the start is strong for him here. Because just this couple basic things here in Dark Age he looked a little sloppy with. Okay, so DauT is going to click up here shortly. He's catching up on the fishing ship numbers. Miguel's going to be on fishing ship number 3. Miguel's goes up really fast. And I think Miguel's build is to sneak this pond. The fact that this villager is running there already tells me he wants to sneak the pond. DauT's scout. He did steal sheep earlier, by the way, so he had that food. DauT's scout is not able to see that. He's very late to scouting Miguel's base. So it almost feels impossible for DauT to stop this. Now, what he could do is he could scout it. What some players will do is they'll send their 4th fishing ship to this or this just to try and have some vision on the shoreline. Paul asking about Byzantines. I mean, Byzantines are really good because of free town watch. So what you could do with Byzantines is you could make a house here, and you get vision on this whole area, so you would get to see if they're going to sneak over. Also, their docks and all their buildings have more HP, which would help in a water war. And their fire ships work faster. And look at DauT. Now, there is a world where you could actually block the dock with the fishing ship. But I think he's just checking to see if there's a dock. No way! What is this, man? He can't see it. And the fishing ship is working now, so it'll probably just drop the food off and go home. DauT's adding a barrack, so DauT wants to go... He wants to spend the food he's getting from the fishing ships. Let me do... Okay, he did see it, actually. He did somehow see that on the way back. And there goes Miguel. So he's gone full walls at home, Miguel. And Miguel is going to try and take the water here. Don't like is how this villager's exposed, though. But I guess at the same time, you do have to scout to see what DauT's doing. So he'll now see the barracks. He's going to see the stable, but he also sees his villager could go down. So Miguel will know kind of what DauT's doing. He's going to try and quick wall his vill in. Doesn't get it. I know Miguel well. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a pro at that. But let's see if DauT wants to compete for this pond, because if he wants to do that, he has to get on gold right now. And so the stable's up so he can make scouts. And then he goes immediately to gold so he can make more fire galleys. So he does not want to give up this pond. We'll see what Miguel does at home, obviously. He's adding more fishing ships right now. And you know what hurts Miguel is he doesn't have his repairville. What helps Miguel is that he's going to have the second fire galley a little faster. But if DauT can pull back his weak ones and repair, I think DauT is able to stabilize this. Miguel's sending a villager now to this pond. He has the momentum there, but DauT's going to have scouts out, so DauT can check this. And see this fight. DauT, I think, realizing the next fire ship will come. Starts to back away. Let's see if he can get the repairs down. I would love to see the next thing after this fire galley be a demo for Miguel. Let's see. Because he pulled back. He pulls back both of them. DauT's getting the repairs. So it kind of looks like you could lose this, right? Adding a demo, that could really change things up. So far, so good for DauT. And there's the demo for Miguel. Who's walling out his berries. I never really liked that. I saw a game the other day where that happened. Never really feels that strong. And now Miguel will end up struggling here on water, as expected, right? This is why that demo's needed. And look at DauT's scouts. DauT knows he can't get in because Miguel's walled. So will he check the ponds? He's sending a villager this way. He should also know that Miguel can't stop that because Miguel is a weak scout. Hey, not a bad micro there from Miguel. Actually, really good micro from him. He's going to sacrifice everything he can to get that ship. Oh, no way. DauT's going to save this. DauT's going to save this. DauT's going to save this. DauT's going to save it. DauT saves it. And now the demo's there, but that's it. And there's no extra fire galley. Huge. Miguel will just go for the fishing ship because he knows what else can he do. I will say this, though. DauT has too much wood, right? Like, this is a guy who had 600 wood in the bank a moment ago, and he immediately drops ranges with it. I still don't think Miguel's position is too strong. Also, very easy for DauT to sneak a villager to his pawns now. I honestly don't think DauT has played the perfect game either. I just think his position will be stronger. We'll see, though. We'll see the dock. Oh, important moment. Miguel built this and is just switching to this side where DauT is going double dock to add fish. So if Miguel somehow sees the dock and Miguel is able to kill some fishing ships there, that's going to be some nice damage from him. Also, he has not given up on this dock, giving himself some time maybe to get his eco right, as he had to add a mill. Not on the berries, guys. That's hundreds of food. Said he just added it out in the middle of nowhere for some farms. Obviously playing very safe right now. And we are going to see DauT notice this. Will Miguel notice that he's been noticed? See how DauT's moving? I think Miguel notices this. DauT's going to make a galley. I don't like the galley choice personally. I would like to see him go for the fires, because I think the dock is going to go up regardless. But, well, we'll see. The villager will probably die, but the dock is up. Again, fire galleys maybe would have made sense there, as we have the fires. There's still a demo in there as well for Miguel. You know what, guys? The longer I watch DauT struggle with dealing with this dock, and now that there's a dock here, I think overall Miguel's going to be fairly satisfied with how this has gone. He's had 9 fishing ships. DauT's at 6. And DauT just lost 3 of them to a demo. Dang, man. Look at that. That's a sick demo shot. Oops, sorry. We got to catch up to normal time now. And now DauT went with a galley. He hasn't run forward and done damage with his archers yet. This is an interesting game. I think we might see Miguel again just go out and demo the fish, but he doesn't see them right now. Miguel adding a stable at home. He wants to click up to Castle Age. His food eco is protected on water. I feel like the immediate play for DauT should have been to scout the ponds and send villagers to them, instead of just allowing Miguel to fish freely. Or move forward with the archers a little bit earlier to do some damage, right? He is going to hit this wood line with fletching. He is going to be able to catch up with the fishing ship count. Miguel is to relocate. Will Miguel have enough food eco to make a couple knights to clear up DauT's archers? And will DauT get the walls down before those knights show up? DauT's going to have a lot of archers, a lot of navy. He's getting the walls down now. Finally clears this up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dang, man. Okay, Miguel has been way more stubborn than I thought was possible here. I'm very impressed. And still, he keeps the next demo in the dock, and he's going to go for another fire. DauT's got to go for double fire there. I don't know. The lack of berries, the 3 farms, it doesn't make me warm and fuzzy inside. Is it not still possible for DauT to just dock here? Am I being too ridiculous with this? It feels fairly obvious to me. Couple houses here for Miguel. He doesn't want to needlessly lose villagers. I think Miguel's play, if this dock is still up here, is to go for the upgrades. I think that's really important. Make 1 or 2 knights, but another option for him would be to go for the, as the scouts will probably just run around. And this is some free damage for DauT. But yeah, go for the upgrades on water. Obviously, he has to do a lot, right? He's going to be spread pretty thin. Doesn't have stone either to be able to make a town center. Clearly needs to get the knights here to clear up DauT right now. Here he is. Looks like he had a fire galley that got chewed up. Trying to sell some wood here. Adding farms with no horse collar. It's so aggressive. His knights are here. Don't think he has enough knights just yet to deal with this. DauT also loops around. There's not a ton of vills that can hop in the TC. This has been very, what's the word here? There hasn't been a lot of balance for Miguel and a lot of flow. It's been very all in. It feels like it has to do damage or he's in trouble. With DauT's attacks, he's able, the way his economy is set up, you know, he took the berries and he transitioned into the ponds. He seems to be in a better overall position. We have a fire. We have a demo. It's a good demo, and another demo's on the way, but DauT will still hold this. DauT still has this big mass, and Miguel's counterattack. I don't think Miguel's counterattack is going to do a lot. Miguel has bloodlines. He's the first armor upgrade, but I think the key for him would have been able to take out DauT's pond on the right, which he's failed to do, and then clear this up. He needed to clear this up. This was the key with the knights, and I just never had the numbers there. He'll continue to try here as he goes over and adds the siege. Miguel may be feeling the pressure from losing the first round. Well, he didn't lose the first round. He won 2-1 against Classic Pro. He won 2-1 against Classic Pro, who had beaten Jordan 2-1. So, you know, if Miguel gets 3-0'd here, obviously that sucks. But a 2-1 result is really good here for Miguel. It keeps him in a really good spot in the group compared to some of the other players. Yeah, would love to see DauT just switch this villager. Again, he's doing a lot. Just switch a villager down here, possibly. Give it a shot. Their focus is fully on the knights, as we now have chain barding armor. DauT's going to make his own knights because he saw the siege. Can Miguel get rid of all this pressure? This is a really awkward spot for him to move out with the siege. DauT's there. See this. Pikeman in for DauT. The knights have good upgrades, though. No attack upgrades, which does... You know, I think ideally you'd have an attack upgrade as well, but the knight base attack is still the most important thing. This is why you prioritize the armor. They have really high base attack. Also, he's pulling back the weak ones right now, impressively. Dang! He does lose that one, but if he can now get some monks out... I mean, he needs to get monks out. Look how many weak knights are out here. This guy barely exists. 2 HP knight. But again, DauT's economy, his flow is so good. Also, your Huns, right? So you don't have to place the houses, which just makes things seem so strong here. What's wild to me, though, is the KD, 32 to 13. Miguel's gotten some real value from his decisions in this game. And he also is on a second TC. He also has 2 pawns that have been fishing. DauT now making a switch into his favorite unit, the Cav Archer. We'll see what that ends up doing. Miguel desperate to heal up, maybe get some relics here. He's going to lose his villager, so now he sees DauT is here, which should lead to some house walls here. That is a palisade wall because he knows he's exposed and he needs to leave, and he needs to send a scorpion or 2 back. But no, he doesn't. Excuse me. He's actually pushing DauT on the front. He's already ventured too far. DauT's gold could be an issue. He does have this gold over here, though. Here come a couple camels from Miguel. I feel like 2 camels can do really well against this number of Cav Archers. I think DauT, if he could float the food, should make a couple knights for those scorpions, and he should be fine. 81 eco versus 80 pop versus 86. 65 eco versus 68. Neither player on stone. In the case of DauT, he didn't sell his stone for once, so he's on 3 town centers, though. He's got tons of villagers pumping from those TCs. But can he stop the combination of Camel and Scorpion and Siege and Monk? For Knights, you're almost always going Cav Archers. Did I say with Knights you're almost always going Cav Archers? With Huns, you're almost always going Cav Archers or Knights. I don't even... the sad thing is I don't even know what I said there. And I think that combination is really tough for the Huns to deal with. As DauT runs into Scorpions. Be a lovely time for DauT to maybe get Husbandry for some speed as his Cav Archers are dying everywhere he goes. And Miguel, he will hear the Wololo here, but I think he'll just go in for the Monk. I think he'll be happy to kill a Monk here. Actually, he won't. Okay, Scorpions have to pull forward. All right, nice job from DauT. That's a lot of Scorpions. And it's tricky, right? If you add Knights, it can get converted. If you add Knights, it could die to Camels. Miguel keeps killing his own stuff, though. He needs to heal up half that group. DauT never wants to give up this hill, I guarantee it. This is the hill that he wins or loses the game on, it feels like. Because his stone is here. His other stone is here. He can't go for a defensive castle. Those gold positions are fine. His wood positions are fine. But the gold... Miguel adding TC number 3. And it was a weird game, right? Weird opening, but every time I thought he would lose out on water, he actually got value. And a lot of it. We'll see the hill for DauT. DauT's still missing Thumb Ring. No ballistics. Miguel will dive. It's the siege that's going to be the most important. That Mangonel, it almost looks like it hit the whole group there. And if these Scorpions continue to move in, the Scorpions could get some amazing shots. DauT is off of his hill. Honestly, normally I'm against the Ram. Would love to see a Ram right now for Miguel. Mangonel is generally better because it can do damage to buildings and also units as we have a pause. But I'm really curious to see how DauT's going to get himself out of this pickle. If you start to ram down the ranges and force DauT into more ranges, I know he's got the wood, but that's going to hurt his production so much. There's no restarts. We worked on the map scripts, made sure the map scripts were good, so there'd be no restarts. And what a great job from Miguel. I mean, this KD is insane. And I got to bring it back to, though, like, DauT had potential to sneak some of these pawns. Never really made the move for it. And it's so tough. When you take the fight to someone else's pond, they're constantly reacting. And so, for DauT, I think maybe he just struggled to do some of those moves due to that pressure, right? Which makes sense. Loses a Monk there. There's the Ram for Miguel. Miguel with 3 Mangonels on the hill. It's going to be so difficult for DauT. Feels like DauT could maybe add his own siege in this position. There's the siege workshop. Hope to get some shots. Love how these monks are healing up Miguel's units on top of the hill right now. Miguel is on stone. I doubt it's for a forward castle, though. It's just trickling in the stone, so he has something. Might need to assess the situation later with that, right? Defensive castle could be needed. The guy also has 34 on gold right now, which is insane. 34 on gold. With old Malians, he'd have 6k gold already. The gold mining upgrades being free. I doubt going to go where Miguel isn't, which actually happens to be in Miguel's economy. Hoping to distract Miguel. Miguel also trying to hit DauT. DauT now adding barracks and a lot of pikemen. I like to see it. It's a good unit. The Cav Archers haven't been working too well. You can make the Cav Archers work if you counterattack. Ballistics is in now for DauT, so he's going to get some nice picks. Yes, he's losing the front of his base, but now it's really awkward for Miguel, who wants to snowball that push. He really needs to get something here. Okay, he's getting... He's also showing to DauT, by the way, that he will not be able to defend the Cav Archers if they get in. Meanwhile, the Knights hope to dive. See the pikemen. They have to back away. Here come the camels, though. Here come the camels. The camels are here. There's so much bonus damage involved in this attack. And now DauT gets wrecked on the front. He had so many pikes. What is this KD, man? The Knights for Miguel go in for the siege. The Knights for Miguel could then take out the rest of the siege. And the siege should still stand for the most part for Miguel. And DauT, oh man, he's losing so many Cav Archers. This is a ridiculous kill-death ratio. 89 to 26. The eco's there for Miguel to go imp if he just wants to buy food. I don't think he should. I think he should continue to all-in this. That felt like the moment right there that DauT needed the counterattack to do something. Oh my god. He needed the counterattack to do something. He needed the pikemen to get some good hits. And if that didn't land, if that doesn't work, I fear for him now. Man, camels are so good against Cav Archers. Holy man. I think the other thing about it is Cav Archers are probably good if it's the only thing you're doing. But when the fight's on the front of your base, you can't really babysit the Cav Archers like you need to. DauT loves his Cav Archers. And Huns are fantastic with Cav Archers. It's not a bad unit to go for. But he's going to need to make more now. And he is. Miguel looking to finish this game here as he continues to come forward. But I have to say, Miguel's trying to fix his economy right now. Get his wood, get his farm upgrade. It's normal. It's a normal move after you take a really good fight. But he hasn't finished out yet. And DauT's population is back up to 140. And I still believe that CA mass can have value here. Normally you need about 30 with the pikemen. They need to be fighting together, and then it should be pretty good. Considering there's not as many scorpions right now for Miguel, these fights are going to get questionable. DauT could pull this back, maybe. Couple conversions for Miguel. That's been really good from him. His monks have gotten a lot of conversions and have been healing as well. Shot for DauT. Pikeman. Miguel. He's going to force a fight because it feels like if he loses this position, he could be in trouble, and he might lose this position. Oh, God. More sieges needed. More conversions needed. More camels needed. DauT getting rocked. Did we get hit again? Oh, he pulls away. Just keep an eye on the unit queue. DauT's always got more pikemen and more Cav Archers to replace the ones he's losing. But for how long, man? I do like how, speaking of unit queue, Miguel was always making more siege. I think the thing he's struggled with as he's trying to expand his eco has been the Camel and the Knights. And DauT has the lead. DauT is back. How on earth is he still alive in this game? It's the power of the Huns, my friends. It's how many units you can mass. This is ridiculous. And it's just constant cycle. Vills, pikemen, Cav Archers. Miguel now realizes, right? So he's trying to get more knights. But he has to think about defensive siege right now. He has to think about defensive castles. He's going to drop a castle there. And this siege workshop is going to be rammed down. And DauT adds more ranges immediately after. I know the KD isn't looked good for DauT, but he certainly has had a lot more units in this game. And that's definitely... It's almost like Goths with the Huns, where you can toss away a bunch of units and still be okay. That's what it looks like right now. Miguel coming back to his siege workshop. I think he just wants to pull as many units away I'm wrong, actually. Excuse me. And here he goes now. Has siege at home. Needs to save this wood line again. This wood line's a big problem for him. Every time DauT makes it over here, he needs to react. And there he goes. Needs a stone wall here. Miguel, there's a hole there. Miguel's going to run back as his knight's behind. I didn't see if the siege did much here. I imagine there was no micro involved in that at all. And DauT should realize that he needs to be making his way to Imp now as well. For Miguel, a lot of his economy is idle at the moment because of this push. But he does have siege at home. And, oh, massive shot. Massive shot. DauT probably needs to run away, but he also wants to distract Miguel's eco. And he's delaying a lot of farms. Miguel is to add more. Also dropping a TC on this gold, which is very nice. Siege will go... it's weakened. DauT kills a farmer there. Not bad. Pikemen go down, though. Yeah, Miguel doesn't want to lose all of his knights. Apparently he does, actually. No, he just weakens that. Now he's got the siege again. Micro is hard. He actually might have reacted here. Guys, DauT has 180 population. He is on the way to the Imperial Age. It is currently 109 eco versus 140 eco. However, Miguel has a lot of Cavalier. DauT's going to need Halb. DauT needs more upgrades. And Farimba Cav, if Miguel can get that upgrade, Farimba Cav can end this game. DauT's base is wide open. He was so late to the stones because of not having control in this one. So, if you're Miguel... Honestly, I think the longer the game goes, the worse it gets for Malians. I know they've got this gold lasts longer bonus, whatever. I don't think that helps you here. I think it's all about rushing Cavalier, Armor, and Farimba, and then spreading out and raiding like a madman. I think the raid is the key. All of DauT's eco could go down before you know it. But what a game, man. What a game. A great job from DauT to stay alive when he's had half the amount of kills as Miguel. Relic coming in for DauT, now going to the gold. He's probably wondering where on earth this army is. We have Farimba, and we have Cavalier, and we just need the final armor upgrade. That's a key here. So the fact that this TC is going down right now is hilarious to me. I mean, this just shows you how Miguel really wants to save his units. The fact that he's letting this area of his eco die. He's trying to take out a ram, guys. A Castle Age ram. He's in Imp right now. He'll take it out, though. He'll take it out. I guess it's worth it. That will lose army there. Here's Miguel. Now, he hasn't had a lot of vision on all of this. So he seems to be running right towards the middle. And I think running right towards the middle could look really bad. But what else could look really bad is not having the Halberdier upgrade. Also, the timing on this fight, less than ideal for Miguel. Farimba's in. Now he's going to have armor. Now he's going to have Cav. This is where the fight is a lot stronger for him. He's got more in queue. He doesn't have a lot. Now, remember, ignore the main ball and go for, as he clears this, go for the economy, I think. Goes in. He'll kill the monk. Kill villagers. This area is so exposed. Miguel can win this game if he just hits the other areas. The Cav Archers and the Halbs are eventually going to be out there. But you want your economy to be better than DauT's by the time that comes. Maybe it doesn't have the gold as he sells some wood. The prices are kind of at the limit. He only has 2 Cavalier in queue. He's dropping a TC here. I don't think Miguel can do this now. That was his moment. DauT has held on. He's got Bracer for the Cav Archers. He has the Halberdier. Malians, we had a full conversation in my 1v1 stream last night. They just don't have a lot of great options to switch into after their initial wave. In theory, you could go champions with Malians. I think that would actually be a bit of a problem for the Huns. And yeah, there you go. There's Man-at-Arms. I really feel like if this area was hit with a few Cavalier instead of, or while this was happening, it would have been such a massive difference in this game. Also, this town center is ambitious to say the least. There's a Cav here from Miguel. He probably doesn't think that thing exists anymore. As he's getting supplies! Okay, so here's the deal. Malian champions have 8 Pierce Armor. Heavy Cav Archer is going to be key here for DauT. If you have 6 plus... Oh, he has it. He has heavy cav archer. Oh, that's massive. Then you're doing 11 damage against 8 pierce armor and a relatively slow unit. Suddenly, that extra pierce armor doesn't mean quite as much. That Cavalier gets taken out. Miguel building up. DauT spreading his wings to fly here. Parthian tactics now. It is interesting. DauT doesn't have archer armor. I feel like armor would have been helpful to get. It's not like he doesn't have the resources. He's prioritizing the attack upgrades, though, which is the key with archer units. You always get the attack upgrades first. Oh, this is an amazing raid. How many times has DauT lost villagers in this game? He's lost a lot of villagers in this game. It's now, can Miguel kill the army? That's the key. DauT catching up on the armor upgrades now. Miguel still could maybe try and raid, but he's trying to get a switch in. He's got 4 barracks on screen. It doesn't feel like that's the number you want. Maybe 7 or 8. DauT killing more villagers here. DauT wedging himself into a lumber camp that needs to be deleted. So this gets dealt with. Marimba's going to be helpful here because you can only get so many Cavalier on the Cav Archers with the way DauT has wedged them in. That's 5 units right there, so that'll get dealt with. DauT has so many resources. He's at 200 pop. His unit queue is insane. Champion is not even in yet for Miguel. How on earth, with the KD we saw earlier, is DauT winning this game? The Cavalier will kill villagers, which if anything helps DauT right now because DauT needs more military. He's popped. So losing villagers right now is not bad for him. Obviously, he'll want to deal with it with something, but he drops a castle here. That should go up to secure that stone. Miguel needs champions. You need champion. Okay, champion's on the way. Light cav as well now. Clearly running low on gold, right? Miguel does see this gold. Oh, he doesn't see this gold. He needs probably 50 champions to have a chance here, in my assessment. I will love to see it, though. It's been a long time since I've seen Malian champions. In the conversation I had yesterday, I talked about how I don't feel like Malians really feel as strong as they used to. They're good for the early flexibility, but beyond that, their options just don't seem good at all. And Miguel, I assume, capped out of this one, guys. I don't know why. I got to talk to Capture Age about why. I guess we're speeding through a spec delay. And that's why that happens. I don't know if there's any way I avoid that if I'm at live time. I probably just have to press play. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll press play so it doesn't spoiler, but there's no spoiler here. I knew that game was over at this point. What a crazy game from DauT. I think for DauT, and I kind of alluded to it earlier in the game, there was a lot better flow to how things were going for him. And for Miguel, even though he was having success with some of that attack, it never really felt like things were exactly where... Well, it never felt like it was exactly where DauT needed to be either. How do I say this? Well, Miguel sacrificed a lot, let's just say, to be able to find the success that he did. And sacrificed a lot by delaying eco upgrades and delaying farms, mainly. Miguel collected a lot of gold. DauT eventually caught up, but he was really struggling in this area for a while. And so when he took that really good fight, he then started to fix that area of his economy because he felt he'd done enough to set DauT back, but he actually didn't hit DauT's economy. He had only hit his units. And so maybe what Miguel needed to do after the initial good fight was to not fix his eco and just buy and sell more and just continue to go for the kill. But I don't know, man. I mean, he felt like Miguel did enough to get a win. DauT just somehow figured it out anyways. 324 kills, 212 losses. Wasn't it better for Miguel to go Cavalier Skirm? No, because Malian skirmishers are really bad. And again, it was lack of eco. Like, he was at the limit with everything. He was never really at a point. Like, let's go here. He's not floating. No, let's even go back further. Look, he's got 21 on food as he's on the way to Imp. And then DauT has 41 on food. And DauT, of course, clicked up to Imp soon after. So the overall balance for Miguel just wasn't quite there. And it even felt like this attack for DauT was really good, right? You've got like 20 or so villagers that end up going idle. These villagers have to relocate. Whereas DauT's eco is just untouched. So what I think is a shame for Miguel, and I still think DauT would have maybe had the edge. But I think right now, okay, you're getting these upgrades. Let's go to about here. Okay, 135 pop versus 200. Obviously, that's not great. But if you don't fight the main fight and you send 5 cav here, you loop 5 cav this way, and then as he reacts, you send in the 20 cav to the middle. I think you do a lot of damage, but instead, he goes right where DauT's expecting him. Right where DauT has all of his production, and that's not the fight you want right there. So again, if you send the thing about Cavalier versus something like Cav Archer and Halb is that they're much stronger in low numbers, particularly the 12+6 attack here. So, you know, you get a lot of value in low numbers. Spread them out. Do not go for the main kill. I think he went for the main kill because he realized he was behind and he just wanted to go for the throat. I think some players would instead realize that it would be better to split them up, and then the rest of the units go into the middle, and then DauT's suddenly not there anymore. But still, that was a crazy win from DauT. I mean, I don't know how he came back from the dead there. He lost, what, 30 Cav Archers in 2 minutes? He just lost a big old batch of Cav Archers like it was nothing. Sick stuff. Okay, so apologies because we're speeding up to catch up to the game. But we have a Civ matchup we've seen before on Fortified Clearing. We have DauT playing as the Burgundians. And Miguel says, shouldn't I have walls in the back? Question mark. Great preparation, Miguel. Great preparation. We are now on week 3, is it? Technically 2 for him. First time he's played Fortified Clearing, I guess. Also shows that he didn't watch any of the recorded games from DauT's previous series. Because DauT played this map. And no, there's no walls in the back. That was a version from another event. So clearly, Miguel has no clue, or had no clue, and now he's probably second-guessing everything else. Now he's probably like, well, what else changed? Okay, that's kind of funny. DauT just said no, and they're just going to continue to play here. Miguel did pick a good civilization. I think the Poles are a fantastic choice here. But then so did DauT. I think DauT will do a lot of good things with the Burgundians. We have seen the Burgundians beat the Poles. We have seen the Poles beat the Burgundians. So I don't think there's any questions over the civs. Sorry, I'm going to drink some water real quick because my throat's getting a little hoarse. Okay. So, you know, just to repeat a couple things, you've got 900 HP stone walls on the front and then no walls on the outer ring. We've rarely seen instances where we see a scout rush on the outer ring, but I still think that's a pretty good strat. We've seen a lot of instances where the players still go fast castle. But I think Viper actually went Drush. So he was Britain, so maybe that made a little bit more sense with an Archer Civ, but as we watched DauT try and lure a deer, actually works out for him there. Yeah, he made a barracks over here, sent the militia around, and ended up killing a villager when he played up against Jordan. Well, I think it's a good point there. So I think the original Fortified Clearing only had relics in the middle. I forget. Yeah, I think that's the case. So there's actually, I wanted to add more reason to go to the outer ring. So there's 4 relics that are on the outer ring as well. So it might change Miguel's plan a little bit. But still could go fast castle. I personally prefer the Burgundians for this stage of the game because you have your eco upgrades already. DauT again giving people heart attacks as he brings in boars. It's also pretty nasty boar lore to be honest, but it's fine. And he's actually sending a scout over this way. Poles are fun to play. Should be a good one. Yeah, I really enjoy poles on closed maps though, because when it's open, sometimes you can't, at least in my case, I just can't focus on the farms as much. But whoa, Miguel just got loom. Is it possible that he's going to go for a scout build here? Let's see if he drops off the food. Boom. Boom. Drops off the food. Now, wait a second. He's going to stone. So now I'm confused because that's going to give him stone income, but with the poles also some gold income. Is he going to go forward and tower rush DauT possibly? Maybe that was his strat originally. Poles are pretty good with that. Again, because it gives you a reason to go to stone, so you get some gold income, which is nice. Also, your villagers heal up, so if you're ever in a tower war, your villagers are going to be stronger. And yeah, he's going to go forward. Dang. So we did see this before, and it was when Yo played his first round against the Brazilian Bruh. And Bruh ended up beating him. Wasn't necessarily because of the tower rush, but he did win that game with the poles and the tower rush. Hey T90, why aren't civs like Turks and Malay preferred here? I still feel like Turks are quite strong. I think you can make an argument for Turks over... What, a barracks? I don't agree with the barracks. I think this is a bad play. It's so expensive for the barracks, and most likely he's going to plan to go for an archer range or something as well. We'll see. I actually think Turks are still really good here against both of these civs. If Turks get to like cav archer or mass hand cannons with bomber cannons and with their fast ramps, I think they can really threaten anybody. Okay, there's the tower. Okay, so what's nice is, and what I was thinking, is if you do this, you rush feudal, you get the farm upgrade, and then when you will eventually farm, which you will have to, you farm around your full work to get all that food income. Here he comes, attacking the palisade wall. Not sure why we have a barracks yet, most likely for an archer range, because he wants to go archers as well. You do sacrifice your eco a little bit with this approach, right? So the idea is, at least when this strategy was invented by Vinchester and Stark back in 2017, 2018, something like that. I forget the year. But the idea is on 900 HP walls is you force your opponent into a counter tower, so you can see DauT's going to stone. And then once he's building counter towers, you shoot down his towers by putting archers inside your own. And even if it's just a 50-50 fight with the towers, one person's got villagers inside, the other person's got archers, which in theory makes the economy stronger then for Miguel. Now, obviously, like, DauT has other resources to go to. You know, you could move around, but it still does mean that he's going to have a hard time pressuring Miguel in theory. And it also slows down his fast castle time, as we see a tower here from Miguel. And I think with poles, this will end up being a really good one, actually. Because, yes, DauTs will go up, but I don't think villagers will go down for Miguel's. So actually really liking the archer play more now for Miguel. My cat is also loving it. He's outside the door. My girlfriend must have gone in for work or something. He's like, meow, screaming at me right now. Let me in, Dad. Let me watch the tower rush. That sounds fun. Yeah, obviously DauT is to get loom. DauT's out of the stable. Might actually be a situation where DauT makes scouts and tries to counterattack Miguel's base at some point. This could be fun. This tower is perfect. Perfect. And Miguel's actually just going to send these vills home. He's like happy that he's accomplished this much, and he's just going to work with that eco. So yeah, I mean, for Miguel, he's even getting fletching right now. And he has one villager inside, one villager to repair. He probably won't even make more towers here. Does he know about the stable, though? He does not. Okay, so he's actually sending a vill to either side to wall it. And I think he's getting too crazy. I think he's trying to wall very far forward. I think DauT might find one of those vills. Also, Miguel just lost his one villager. So much for this being good. And again, DauT has to respect that units might run in here shortly, so he has to make a decision. And yeah, there he goes. And Miguel, does Miguel know this now? Okay, so Miguel's sensing this, maybe. He's actually just going to wall there, and he's walling with everybody. What in the world, man? 8 vills. And he needs to pull that villager back and repair it. DauT didn't actually send the scouts. DauT now walling with 1 or 2 villagers. So I guess, you know, when the Burgundian player is working off of these upgrades, Miguel needs to run or hop inside. When the, he saw the scouts there, but when the Burgundian player is working off of Castle Age eco upgrades, it still doesn't make you too excited if you're the Polish player here. Miguel actually ends up losing that. He just makes a house with this villager, and well played DauT so far. And archers haven't really accomplished much. Miguel with all these vills walling. Fortunately for him, he's now safe. He actually has arena now. So he has the walls that he wanted, and he needs to make another full work, I think. And think about heading towards Castle Age. Oh, he's going to make another tower. Interesting. Where did those vills come from? Did he send them from the front? What's going on? Miguel's all over the place. Running forward, running back. Like this, though. We'll see if he can get the amount of farms he wants around that full work. 10% of the food from the farms will come in after he completes the farm around the full work. So that's the idea. Also, he's completely walled, so DauT coming to the middle is a little interesting. I think DauT maybe should have gone to the outer ring, chose not to. I liked the idea from DauT to loop around with his scouts because he can't actually do anything against this force that Miguel has. Miguel, I think, will actually try and batter his way through the blacksmith or something. He just wants to force more reactions from DauT, and I don't blame him. DauT might have to respect this, but the blacksmith will take a while to be taken out, so yeah, he's still going to add the tower. Now you see the food eco for Miguel. Look at the resources. Look at him catch up here. A good move from DauT. DauT never had any interest in actually attacking there, but he just wanted to delay. And let's see how Miguel does it this time. Because the towers are going to be in range of the repair villagers. So I would love to see Miguel save the scout. I don't think that's in range. Let's see Castle Age come in at around the same time. Miguel's still adding more farms. Miguel will be up any moment now. And DauT is just now clicked. Yeah, Fatal, I realized they removed that from Apple TV, which is super annoying. I did say something to them about it. I wouldn't get your hopes up that they're going to change it just because of my feedback. I actually have no info why they changed it or what went on there. I don't know how that works with apps, right? Like, I assume with apps, the way it works with all these big businesses, it's like some people want some people's apps, other people don't. They maybe have contracts for having their app, you know. So I don't really know the logistics of it, but yeah, I'm sorry about that. It kind of sucks because I recommended a lot of people used it and then they ended up removing it. Look at DauT. DauT trying to distract with the scouts. Is getting armor now. Definitely wants to push the middle. Yeah, like I said, Julian. And Julian, the weird thing about ads is that's very different for everybody. Some people get 0 ads. Some people get 1,000,000 ads. Some people have quiet ads. Some people have loud ads. I actually think the issue is that my audio tends to play a lot quieter than most content. So if anything, because I've heard people on YouTube say that as well. If anything, maybe I need to crank up my audio by like 30 or 40%. That way people see stuff, it doesn't scare them. It's my fault. What have I done? It's my fault. These villagers could get trapped. If DauT wants to get crazy here, he could run out here. Miguel, a couple misclicks. Loses a vill. Now he needs to run. And run he does. Shouldn't be the end of the world for the villagers, but then again, the scouts could always pick him off. You never know. I think DauT is just going to do his best. He's going to add knights. He's just going to track those vills. Once he starts to make the units from this thing, Miguel's going to have some big problems. So Miguel needs to run. Man, I bet he wishes he had wheelbarrow right now. These villagers. Oh, gosh. Yeah, DauT's got armor. He's got 3 scouts, but he's got the knight as well. Miguel sacrifices his scout, which will hurt if he wants to compete for relics, but I think it's worth it to save the vills. He's going to be in Castle Age as well. He's going to add a monastery now. He has the second TC. So Miguel, more of the eco approach. But guys, I cannot stress to you how important it is that Miguel gets a win here. You know, DauT won 2-1 the first round. That's obviously great. But I was saying the same thing when Say My Name was playing DauT. Say My Name was down. Even if you lose the play all 3, it doesn't matter. All that matters at the end of the group stage is how many wins did you get. And Miguel already won 2-1 versus Classic Bro, who 2-1 Jordan. So this group is super competitive. DauT and Jordan still have to play. DauT and Viper still have to play. You can get this victory here. Suddenly you're feeling fine. Also, Miguel is a risky player. Oh, God. I mean, he can wall that in. But, DauT runs away. DauT will get converted here. What? DauT doesn't get converted. What in the world? That castle. Now that it's going to go up, I really like the castle, though, because it protects that stone and gold. which would otherwise be pretty exposed. All right, so we should have TC number 3 for Miguel. The eco looks right for it. He might make it in the middle. Castle's up. Yep, he's going to make it in the middle. Oh, I hate that. Why make a TC in the middle when you have all this space? I guess he doesn't feel like he has the space. You know what this makes me think of is DauT's going to kill this monk. No, he doesn't. What this TC makes me think of is the game that ACCM and MBL played. And all that MBL did when he saw a TC in the middle was he just built up towards his next castle, and he controlled the map with military and castle dropped it. I understand the need to take stone when you're pulls. Look at Miguel. He actually deleted those farms so he could place them around his full work. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that TC spot. DauT hasn't gone out this way as far as I can see to get relics yet. Does have a gate over here. No scouts or any units floating over there. Miguel, 54 villagers. It's also 54 for DauT. These two are incredible players. Very close. Total KD 9-5 for DauT here. Feels like this is a unit he will want to have. We're going to see stables for Miguel. So maybe the reason Miguel made this is because he knows this will be an area of concern. And his point is going to go for that unique tech, guys. The knights cost 60% less gold, and he wants to spam stable units. It seems a little weird. I really like this, though. A lot of players would go up to Imp. I really like the decision. I'm not sure about the decision about the TC. As you can see here, DauT just freely runs underneath it. Also, interesting fight, because Castle's there as well. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think trying to get some map control back from DauT before he castle drops you is pretty smart. I think the unit you'll want to go for in the long term is not the question here. It's just how many can you make? With Burgundians, you have to be a bit more choosy. Obviously, their economy is good to get there, but you do have to think, like, okay, what's my unit comp against whatever's coming? With Poles, yeah, you have to think about it, but their units are so incredibly cheap. You don't have to stress as much. Actually, not sure about the stone mining upgrade. I guess that helps. It's probably worth it if it helps your gold and your stone. There is more stone over here, by the way, for Miguel, who has clearly played this like a player who didn't know that the walls were open on the back side, right? Like, he's had no scouting on the outer ring at all. He's going to try and push up the middle. And I think he's also going to try and rush Imp. And it's actually not a bad approach to try and rush Imp here and go for a Trebor if you're worried about DauT going Imp himself. I think in the long run, DauT will probably be better off because DauT will get the relics on the outer ring uncontested. But for Miguel, he's already clicked up. DauT will have the eco lead. DauT will follow him, but still, not bad. Love the 4 TC choice for DauT, though. It feels so good on this map. Any arena map, but in particular this map where you can expand a bit more. On regular arena, sometimes you add all those vills and you can't move out. You're stuck. Here you can move out. So what that means is 1 TC isn't producing as Imp comes in. It's this one. 3 produce villagers. For Miguel, he's got 1 TC researching and 2 producing. And now he's getting bloodlines. Now he's getting armor. He's definitely going to want to build up towards that fast cavalier play. Okay, Miguel's sending a scout this way now. That would be good. DauT sending all of his military, though. I like how Miguel stonewalled it. It's clear that his approach is going to be to push the middle. And DauT maybe didn't see that castle until just now. So DauT might be a little concerned. Let's see what DauT does with his next castle. Because right now, he's still making the unit that he needs a castle for. There it is. I call it the Sriracha privilege upgrade, which it is not. I just can't speak Polish. I'm sorry. But that upgrade, man. Polish Cavalier. You can get so many of them. I think DauT needs Halb. I think you need to open with Halb. Miguel will be an Imp 30 seconds faster. He was able to kill a Vill with this scout. DauT is probably going to attack the walls over here just to be annoying. And no, DauT's actually going to stonewall that. Dang. Now, that's an interesting move. Because if I'm Miguel, obviously I want to push. He doesn't see this castle yet. But you also might not want to be walled off here if you know there's gold. So you might actually send your Cavalier here. And seeing as DauT is looping home, I think that would actually make sense. But another castle, opening with Trebs. Then again, you want all your army to protect your Trebs. Again, it's really complicated. I think Miguel needs to remember that even though it's 60% off, he actually still needs to take gold. The guy's got 6 gold miners right now. He's about to have a few more. Adding a market so he can buy and sell resources. There he is with a castle drop, which should complete. DauT got a couple conversions, sorry. But Miguel should see this castle and he should go for it. Just go for any of the castles. And just spam the Cavalier forward. He's just letting this happen. Still doesn't have Cavalier, though. I said Cavalier. He doesn't have it. What's DauT doing? Also, all new farms should be in the outer ring now, if you're DauT. Because you don't want to add more farms to an area you might lose. Still adding the Coustier. He's going to get a lead out of this castle. He's adding his own Trebs. Miguel, where's the Cavalier upgrade? Where are the numbers? We'll take out the castle, maybe. By the way, DauT has conscription, so all his military units will produce very quickly. 5 relics for DauT. All could be taken away from him if he loses this position. Miguel's got quite a few stables coming up. Is the timing going to be right? DauT goes in for the Trebs. Will probably lose a unit to a conversion. But he could also take all the trebuchets with him. That was right after a lead as well, so that's a good attack, but Miguel's not finished. Miguel's not finished. He's still got a Treb, and now it's his turn to go in and kill a Treb. Honestly, if he had Cavalier, he might take this out. Without Cavalier, he... Cavalier, he definitely takes it out. With Cavalier, he definitely takes that out. He will take this one anyways. And so both players diving in and losing lots of army. But it's the cost of the army that should be the talking point. It's the buildings that you need to produce that should be the talking point. As Miguel loses his castle here. Wait a second. Was he... Hold on. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I'm so sorry. For some reason in my mind, I was thinking that they wasn't actually being hit by any trebuchets. And that DauT's trebuchet was hitting this treb, and I thought he deleted it. Sorry, my bad. Guys, Miguel's falling apart right now. And what this is allowing DauT to do, it's allowing DauT to add barracks. He can tech switch. When you're ahead, you can get ahead of the game by tech switching. Obviously, he's going to continue to make this, but look at this now. He knows that it's going to be all in Cavalier for Miguel. And Miguel can't tech switch. Miguel's at the limit right now. And that if that one treb would have been sniped, his castle would still be standing. That's crazy. Does have 12 Cavalier in queue. Here he goes for this treb. DauT will unfortunately give up this treb finally, as Miguel will pull back. I think it's very important to have more houses right now. Let's see. DauT has 6 relics. If you can get Halbin to support. Now the way this unit works is the first attack it has is much stronger, and it goes down to 11 plus 4. So it's called a charge attack. And there's a lot with the Burgundians that people don't necessarily love. That's one of the things that people seem to have an issue with the Civ. Thing about Halb, though, is you are going to need upgrades. DauT's working on the upgrades, but also the Obuk are actually a fantastic unit to mix in because it shreds armor and anything it fights. So if you thought Miguel was finished, he's not finished yet. But he is farming in the middle of the map right now because he's so uncertain about moving elsewhere. And he really needs pop space, he needs castles, and he needs to take a freaking fight. These farms look very out of place right now. I would not enjoy being those farmers at the moment. So again, no stone income, so he can't repair that. And he'll want to take the trebs. I would delete my archer range. I mean, maybe it helps him to not have to fight these units straight up. But he loses his castle, guys. He's at 155 pop, 160. He is making houses. He is taking fights. DauT's got Halb. He's got Coustier. He's got 6 relics. If he can hold from this, he will most likely win the game. But can he? Miguel has 10 more Cavalier in queue. What is happening? It is a DauT castle. DauT doesn't complete this castle. The Cavalier continue. Holy crap, man. This Civ. Miguel gets a trebuchet. He needs siege as a follow-up, ideally. Also, if he could spam Cavalier to the outer ring right now, again, like, the fact that he hasn't probably prepared for this type of game tells me he won't. But if he could spam Cavalier to the outer ring, even just 5 of them into DauT's eco, a couple stables over there would just do wonders for him. DauT has a lot of Halbs in queue. Miguel continues, though, to queue up more Cav. And the Cavalier will beat a Halb in a 1v1 engagement. Miguel is backed up, though. He's kind of trickle-trebbing here. DauT's got more than enough resources to make more units. Felt like if Miguel had the siege right then and there, he would have been able to maybe win the game. If he had 4 trebuchets and all of DauT's buildings were going down, maybe. DauT's being as patient as possible here. And Miguel, probably wisely, backs away. That's a lot of Halbs, though, guys. There's 44 Halbs on the field. That's enough. That should be enough for some great trades. Miguel can make more because they're cheap. But DauT's economy is stronger. Clearly, DauT felt like he could take that fight, right? He's still repairing the castle, so he still feels like he can win it. God, there's so many of them. But I just don't know if Miguel can last much longer. Against straight Halb, he would need to have a little bit more. But that's the beauty of having the Trebs here. Unlike before, right? He had an amazing fight here and he didn't have the Trebs. He actually has the Trebs firing. So he's actually damaging DauT. I don't know, though. Miguel's population is so weak. It's 115 population. 150 population for DauT. And, yep, Miguel, he's in trouble. He's got no win condition now. And he calls the GG. The only real loop around that Miguel did that whole game was with a little scout on the outside. And I think the lack of knowledge on how to play this type of map did show a little bit for Miguel. But ultimately, I think DauT just had an insane eco. Like, I don't know if it'll even show here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a big difference there. But with the food count being similar and then all that golden stone, and DauT did bring in a lot of that from the relics. Always going to favor DauT against one style of unit push. It was close, though. It was a really close game. I think for Miguel, he could have won the cross game. Game 1 was just totally forgettable. Game 1, I don't know, maybe it tilted Miguel. But the cross game, he had the lead. This game, he had his opportunities. But, you know, certainly Miguel will want to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Again, not the end of the world for Miguel, who won 2-1 against Classic Pro. But now he has 3 more rounds to play, one of which is going to be this week, and then 2 over the next couple weeks. We'll have Viper on the cards for Miguel, Jordan, and then who else does he have to play? I think he has to play Say My Name. So it feels like that set against Jordan and Say My Name is going to matter a lot. Obviously, you know, if you can get a win or 2 off of Viper, that's massive, because a lot of other players might not, and have not so far. But with Jordan having 1 win after 2 sets, there's a lot of pressure on Jordan, who will actually play DauT tomorrow. So yeah, DauT, he's looking very good right now. DauT is 2nd place after winning. Did he win? Who did he play yesterday? Why am I forgetting this? Oh, yeah, he won 2-1 against Say My Name and then 3-0 against Miguel. So he has 5 wins after the first 2 rounds. But next he's up against his teammate Jordan. So lots to pay attention to. Great game. Just has to, as an organizer and a host and a caster and all this stuff, the message from Miguel, when was it? This message right here. Honestly, at that time I saw it, I was like, well, I hope he loses. Is that mean of me? I don't know. Like, this has been going on for a couple weeks. I know, in all fairness, there's a lot of other things going on as well. It's very important we started the league here so we could get it fitting the format and the schedule we want for the next few years. But, like, the fact that this has been played so many times, and Miguel said this, showed me he didn't even watch a recorded game of any of them. Again, there was a recent tourney where there was walls in the backside, so maybe he just assumed, but obviously a little painful there. And yeah, now he knows for the next time.